Yes, we've made it to the show. It is a special show. It's not Wednesday, if you didn't know. Like, I knew that, but I don't know if anybody else knows that. Could you do me a favor, actually? Could you bring your camera down in length? Just one shot. Just one shot. Just one. One more? Perfect. That's better.
Okay.
See that?
Yeah.
Welcome again to another episode of the Sepsiss Show. This is actually a special episode of the Sepsiss Show because this week we have Needles and Noise, Lexi.
Yeah!
Needles and Noise is an all-ages event in Hartford, Connecticut. And later on, we will be talking to one of the administrators, the organizers of Needle and Noise at the Webster Theater.
I can't wait.
This Saturday, of course, we won't be talking to them this Saturday. We'll be talking to them right here on the show. If you watch, well, hopefully you're watching the entire show. At the end of this episode, we will be sitting down with Maddie, one of the organizers from Needles and Noise, and learning, introducing people to the concept and ideas, the goals, and the adventure of Needles and Noise. So, guys, buckle up. That's going to be interesting. How's your week going, Lex?
It's been going great. I'm excited for this weekend.
No more smoke.
No more smoke for right now.
Only weed smoke.
Right. That's all smoke we got right now. Be careful to those that are in hazardous places.
So we had to cut band practice a little bit short this week because there was so much damn smoke we couldn't make it through the set.
It was difficult. That's for sure.
I was thinking to myself, like, it's a good thing Needles and Noise is not taking place on an outside stage this week because we'd be all smoked out.
Yeah.
Let's take a look anyway. Guys, Needles and Noise, all ages. Needles and Noise is bringing the chaos to the Webster. Live bands, live tattooing and piercings, vendors, art, heavy music, and real community. Presented by Barnett Body Art and Heart Support, Needles and Noise is built for the people who grew up in the scene and never left it behind. This is more than a concert. It is a full-on collision of tattoo culture, alternative music, and mental health awareness under one roof. Expect breakdowns, large crowds, and Lexi Swarm will be there, of course. Everybody, don't miss it. It is all ages. It's happening this Saturday. So yeah, we'll be talking to Maddie a little bit later about that. So everyone stick around so you can learn about Needles and Noise. If you don't know what we're doing here today, this is normally a show that we do on Wednesday. And it is a show where we examine music, technology, current events, social media, and more. We are a rock band and a heavy metal band. Sepsiss from Manchester, New Hampshire. I almost forgot my own name. And this is my keyboard player and lovely co-host, Miss Lexi Swarm.
Hi.
This is a program where we examine the details, the stories, articles about the music industry, advertising, and marketing. We put them up on the screen behind us so you guys can follow along. We also cover social, cultural, and some legal topics. Of course, the ones that relate specifically to the ones in the music industry and some even in our everyday lives. Love us, study us, or hate us. This is the Sepsiss Show. All right. Do it. In here, the chat is live if you guys want to follow along with us and chat. I need one of these stream decks.
Yeah, that would be really helpful.
So when I'm streaming, I can do the background stuff. I can play music. I can have sound effects. I can be utilizing microphone effects and just basically having a lot more fun with the show without having to reach up and touch and try to manipulate the broken keyboard. You guys can't see all the stuff I'm fucking around with here. It's ridiculous.
Wires.
It's
crazy.
It's crazy.
We need a stream deck. Let's go shopping.
Motionless in White members share mixed feelings on fans filming concerts for views and subscribers. I mean, how do you determine whether or not somebody's using it for subscribers or views? I mean,
What's the evidence to prove that?
Well, I got a little bit of evidence to prove that everybody's online for attention.
Yeah, including them.
Right. So, I mean, aren't we all, and here I go speaking for myself, and I'm not trying to save face, but it's the only way that I can get you guys to see that I'm playing fair. Aren't we all on the internet for some form of attention, marketing, or advertising, or consumption of these things?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so like even if you are somebody just consuming on the internet, you must know by now, right, that the other motherfuckers that are on the internet are here for attention. You have the people that are making content and trying to advertise and promote and market and gain attention to that content, and then you have everybody else that's consuming the content. There's only two people you can be on the internet at any given time. You are either the content creator or the content consumer. Which one are you today at this moment? That's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big ass failing shopping mall, flea market, video game. This thing is washed.
Seriously.
Who cares what anybody's really doing on the internet if the whole point is to call somebody out for being a bad actor? I mean, have we gotten a little out of control with... Okay, so here's the thing. I know that we're all on the internet and people dominate the comments section trying to catch people in cover-ups and exposing everyone. But when you go out of your way to expose anyone, you expose something about yourself. And I'll make the argument that everybody on the internet is here for attention. And there's some of us that know that.
Right. Right.
So while you may look at everybody else and point the finger, there's three pointing back at you.
Right. Like now we're questioning you.
While you are going out of your way to expose everybody for bad internet etiquette or over promotion, or maybe you know somebody that posts too much, or somebody that uses AI, and you call them out. The idea of calling them out isn't necessarily about the crime; it's more about the cover up. So the idea is that people should be embarrassed, they should be shamed, punished, called out for their cover-ups, with the idea that they are bad people. People that do what the hell is going on with this bullshit? You see this?
Oh my god, what the
You know that is
fuck?
not fun. I'm trying to have a conversation.
For real.
So the whole idea of catching someone online and exposing their big cover-up is to prove what, everybody? Let me guess. That they're bad people and you're a good Samaritan because you're the one that called them out. You know, and you're deputy dog and you're the rock and roll internet police and you've got everybody's number now. And seemingly because you're the one that called them out and they're bad people, that now you are in a position of purity and authority. Do I got it right?
It sounds like it to me, because I was going to ask, are we going into a world where the people that are putting on a show are going to control how the audience handles the show? Meaning, you're going to control how many people can videotape your show?
So the general idea is that you call somebody out online and then generically reveal that they are seemingly bad people, and I guess now the person that called them out is the hero and they have the upper hand or the advantage. I'm that is a guess. I had this moment of clarity in 2016 and 17 when people first started going live at concerts. And at first I kind of had my own opinions about it. But later on, as I developed. My opinions really stem from knowing what kind of artist you are and what type of mission you are, what type of mission you're on as a band or an artist. So for instance, I'm gonna bring one up, right, to add context. If you are in a huge female fronted heavy metal band, right, you may not want to be labeled or categorized as female fronted heavy metal, because when people search for it or you're having conversations about it, it may be harder to find, or you may be wanting to get booked for certain shows or be involved or participating in certain events, and having the words female fronted as a genre or a catalog or a title could really hold you back in some creative spaces or even fuck up your money. Now, if you're not at the level and layer to understand what I'm talking about, then forgive me. Go get a snack or take a break for 5 minutes. But this is the type of shit I'm talking about.
It really feels like we're going into a world where these performers and people are going to start controlling how the fans conduct themselves, whether they're filming or dancing.
I think if you are a huge band, right, and the way you pay rent and the way you survive depends on you having control and ownership over your intellectual property, your performances and art. I think if you are a huge band like Motionless in White, for instance, they may want a much tighter sense of control over their live performances and what gets uploaded, because as you'll find out, anybody can upload any type of video or image and make money off of that video or image.
Yeah.
People can make money by taking pictures of Melissa or performances from Sepsiss and then upload them to their Facebook, and Facebook will pay them money to view that content. You see?
Yes.
So then you get into the argument of who owns that content. You know, is it the performers and the musicians, or is it the person at the concert that bought a ticket and has their phone there and can seemingly record performances? I mean, they bought a ticket.
Yeah.
And part of the concert experience, even when buying the tickets, a lot of the times they have the apps, the contests, the groups, the social media, the build-up, all utilizes the cell phone and uses the cell phone as a tool to interact with the concert, almost like Needles and Noise or Swarmy Fest or Rock Fest or any of the other large festivals. A lot of people from the beginning in the creation of the content, the creation of the event, and to the completion of the event, the cell phone actually plays a very vital role in interacting and building up awareness and excitement around the event. So getting to the door and having to put your cell phone in your pocket for a lot of consumers is going to be a 2 thumbs down, because for a lot of people nowadays, they're going to the club so they can get that selfie.
Yeah, they can get the experience.
Yep.
They can remember the memory. They can look back and be like, hey, I went to a Motionless in White concert.
And
here you go.
And it wasn't that much different when they sold Kodak disposable cameras. People would bring them to concerts and capture moments. So I definitely, me being me, in a 20-second clip, this whole conversation doesn't play off the same way. But I'm kind of neutral on this. And if you are a huge artist, I think your bread and butter, your money, I think is really affected. Your promotion can be really affected by having a lot of people upload your material and seemingly make money off of it on YouTube and Facebook and all these other social media sites. If you're somebody like Motionless in White, you're just watching that money go out the window. You're like, damn. Here's all these people uploading our music. We're not even getting paid for it. All right, now on the other hand, if you are in a small band like Sepsiss, take snap, record, and go live of us as much as you want. But we also come from a different era. We are a band that has embraced and absorbed the twists and turns of uploading our likeness onto the internet. Every single day since 2010, in 2011, we started documenting and recording like a journal. We've uploaded and documented this project. You can go on any social media platform and look at our archived history and all of our posts, and that's very much part of our package. So we've really worked in the internet, going live, podcasts. We've really worked in all of the social media tools, all the technology that we possibly can. We've really worked that in and absorbed that into our wheelhouse. But for some of these legacy and older bands, I can see where it does create its problems. I'll have Lexi read it, and we'll follow up with our commentary after that.
Motionless and White members Vinnie Morrow and Chris Motionless have sparked discussion online after sharing their thoughts on the growing trend of fans filming entire concerts and quickly uploading the footage to social media and YouTube. The conversation began when Morrow, the band's drummer, took to X on July 15th to comment on how common it has become for concert goers to experience live shows through their phone screens. He goes to write, "The culture we have created where you film the entire set of a band with your cell phone and immediately upload it to YouTube is comical to me. Not hating, just kind of funny seeing a third of the crowd living the show through their phone screen."
That goes directly into what you
were saying.
Some people, I mean, like it or not, some people go to the concert now with going live on TikTok at the same time as part of the reason that they're going there. Now, you could be like, oh man, that's really disappointing. I wish they wouldn't do that. And then they'll find another concert to go to where they allow that.
What one won't do, they'll find another to do.
Right. People go. I mean, people go out to see movies and bands and stress relief or whatever they do during their time, and they want to do it on their own terms. People don't want to be told what to do. I totally understand it. But if you are an artist at any level of the modern day industry, at all levels and layers of this business, from the fans to the talent buyers and tastemakers, people are always looking to exploit the musicians and artists. And what I mean by that is streaming is still very popular. And if you approach the biggest moral and ethical music fan and you bring up streaming and how it robs and hurts musicians, not only creatively, but it also hurts us at the bank too, people aren't willing to give up their iTunes anytime soon. So all of the morals and ethics go out the window when you remind people that their commute to work every day also contributes to dying wildlife, suffocating animals and killing the planet. So
Disgusting.
It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
Ain't that the truth?
You read it.
Yeah.
You read it.
I was like, here we go with the next article. Oh my God.
Lawsuit says AI tool disproportionately places black prisoners in maximum security. An investigation by The Breach found the province knew the risk assessment program could produce racially skewed outcomes. I just want you to know what we're working with this stuff. I'm not going to have a huge discussion on it. I'm just showing you where they're going with it. You know, just like when we did the update about hospitals and medical insurance programs using AI to differentiate, to diagnose, to categorize who they wanted to treat. This is another kind of update like that. An artificial intelligence program used to classify prisoners' security levels. It's in Canada. Well, I think it's important though. It's disproportionately placing black prisoners in maximum security conditions, according to an investigation by The Breach, and a class action lawsuit filed against the province. Good for them. In an evaluating risk tool, which has been used in Ontario jails since 2021 to assign prisoners a risk scoreboard on factors including arrest and disciplinary history, citing government data analyzed by University of Toronto criminologist Scott Weirdow, the outlet reported that black people make up roughly 5% of Ontario's population, but represented close to 27% of prisoners in maximum security. No help from AI.
Look, even AI is ruining the prison system.
You know what was ruining the prison system? You know what was ruining the judicial system before AI?
White people.
Racists. You know?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, they're the ones that invented it.
You're right. Absolutely. That's why we stay up on it. I just think people should know what the fuck.
I saw that. I was like,
It's
is that
all
going to
wrong. It's
exit?
It is what it is. We've been covering this one. And I just, we always talk about how the music industry is like a game show. We always talk about how the music industry is like a casino. And we also talk about the music industry like it is a courtroom. Because the music industry is largely based on accounting and the machines and gadgets that monitor, organize, and manage that data. The music industry is an industry built on data, gadgets, gizmos, and other technology that measures and stores those data sets. Shit is mad boring.
Seriously.
If most of you haven't realized, like, that's why a lot of musicians don't want to be bothered with it.
They also don't want to know this shit. They don't want to know that constantly Sony Music and others are always in court.
People that follow the Bible, they don't want to know that in the first book of the Bible that it's presented that the plants were created before the sun. And we all know that plants need photosynthesis from the sun. But people that read the Bible don't want to know that.
They don't want to. That's what I'm saying. They don't want to know what's behind the ugly and underneath the carpet. And
I'm not getting into belief systems and traditions. I'm just saying people that read the Bible don't like when I remind them that in Genesis plants came before the sun, people that read the Bible don't want to be bothered with that.
They don't.
They start bringing up magic.
Yep.
And they start bringing up
their faith in God.
What I'm saying is they stop believing in science and they go right to mysticism. They go right into folklore and things that are not objectively provable.
Yeah, not scientific.
Right. We always talk about how the music industry, the real culture, is in the courtroom. Sony Music sues Audio again, asserting over 30,000 recordings. A judge barred the major record label from adding to its original case. So Sony is suing them for 30,000 recordings. There was original barred from their case. Lexi?
Sony Music Entertainment has filed a second copyright infringement lawsuit against Udio, asserting 30,117 sound recordings. It says the AI music company copied without permission to train its generative AI models. The complaint, obtained and first reported by MBW, the site we're using, was filed on Monday, July 20th in the U.S. District Court of Southern District of New York.
I mean, there you have it, y'all. I just, as this story continues, we'll be going over this for so long. Not to stammer.
I think that they are going to be battling and going back and forth between AI music companies and all these big major legacy companies for a long time.
And
I think this is going to be never ending.
to some degree, if you've been blamed for something awful in your life and you make it to court, it is a complete strategy for you to get continuance after continuance to drag the case out as long as you can.
Yeah.
In some prosecutions it can work the same way. So when you're litigating, you might get two parties that both agree that they would each have the advantage if the case was postponed. But in the meantime, people get abused.
Yeah, the abuse that they're complaining about continues.
For instance, you've had over 1,000 kids come forward to the state police over 50 to 100 years about the abuse, child abuse, and neglect at YDC. But because it's always trapped in litigation, because the court cases are always postponed, in the meantime, that doesn't mean that kids aren't being abused. It doesn't mean that crimes aren't being committed. It doesn't mean that there isn't further negligence. Right. While we're all arguing about the harmful nature of fossil fuels, they're still building cars, for instance.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just to throw it out there. Which countries have banned social media for kids? Australia started it. Now the list is growing. This is an ongoing story that we've just stayed up on. Most of us are firm believers here that children shouldn't even be on products or in private spaces with adult strangers. Put your hand up if you are an adult that believes that children should have safe, separate spaces than strange adults online. Yeah, I think kids should have their own place to play, like the playground, like kids go to the playground and adults aren't invited and welcomed.
And it's obvious
right.
that they're not there.
Right. Like the kids are at the playground and it's obvious that there are no invitations for random strange adults to come and climb all over them.
Right. You can't fit. Too small.
There's all kinds of issues with it.
Right.
Social media is the same way.
It really should be.
Yeah, because social media is a playground for adults. Children shouldn't be able to play privately with adults.
No.
Social media ban for kids are quickly becoming the global legislation trend of the moment. And you know what? You wouldn't want a 13-year-old driving a Mack truck either, or going to the gun range.
Nope. Everyone freaks out.
Right. I'm somebody that I'm on the side of developing brains don't need to do their fucking taxes. They shouldn't have to worry about it. Develop. I mean, not unless you want to start having actual curriculum and you want to start teaching, accounting in grammar school. How about that? I don't know. I don't think 14-year-olds should have a brand. I don't think you have a brand yet. I think you're 14. But I'm going off the science of developing brains. I'm not just saying because of my opinion. I'm saying a person's brain is still developing well into their late 20s. Maybe it's time to, visit driving a car, but owning, a Fortune 500 or managing IPO on Wall Street may not be the move. Yet, kids, yet.
Slow down.
I know.
All we're saying is slow down.
Just right. Take your time. Trust the process.
You're not an adult yet.
Children under 16 are finding themselves at the center of political conversations with countries including Australia, UK, Canada, Brazil, and Austria. Almost said it again. Indonesia, some smart countries, and more attempted to wrangle big tech companies' hold on young people's attention. It's about time. That's all I wanted to cover, just so we could keep up with it.
I love seeing countries on that list that we weren't expecting to see joining the fight.
You know what country you're not going to see on that list to protect children?
United States.
Period. There you have it. Have you heard? Does anybody use Poly Market?
What is Poly Market?
I don't know. I thought it was going to be a market for some naked people.
That's what I'm thinking.
But it's not.
Because the word poly.
Look it up.
Because the word poly.
Well, yeah, Polly want a cracker. Look it up.
Well, not that poly. Looking it up. My phone's too slow.
It's all right. We got all the time in the world.
Okay. Poly Market.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Poly Market is a production market. Sorry, prediction. Sorry.
Say, well, that's
Poly Market is a prediction market.
It's very important that we get the first few words of this right, because this is kind of the point of what I'm getting at.
My fault. Poly Market is a prediction market platform where users trade on the outcomes of real-world events. Instead of betting against a house, you trade shares with other users in an open peer-to-peer market. Prices reflect the market's collective belief in the probability of an event occurring. So, like, people are probably betting that there's going to be a hurricane next week, is what I'm saying.
It could be that, but they bet more on, like, how many times Carolyn Levitt says quite frankly during an address. It's stuff like that.
Silly stuff. Gotcha.
Oh, people only gamble on silly stuff.
Yep.
That's why I wanted to share this.
This is really sad.
This is why I want to share with you when I talk about the music industry, the internet being washed out, and then being flea market, casino, game show, video game, hacking devices. This is what I'm talking about. France orders Poly Market blocked over illegal gambling promotion. People online don't go on the internet to read and learn about the history of American slavery. People don't go online and read about quantum physics. People use the internet to stalk their boyfriends and girlfriends. They use it like a Cold War stalking and spy weapon. They use it like a Cold War stalking and spy weapon. People use the internet and their cell phone to hunt, to track their girlfriends, boyfriends, and children. They use it to expose and exploit each other, catch each other in cover-ups, and snitch on each other in crimes. People use the internet for gambling, stealing, cutting corners, and masturbation. That's why people use the internet. And gambling is right at the top of the list. Gambling, stealing, sex, and misinformation. That's why people are online. But then they don't want to listen to music. They don't want to learn origami. People are not online looking up how to get along with their neighbors. They're online looking up how to get over on them. People are not looking or searching Google or AI for the right answers. people only search and play with Google hoping they'll find answers they already have. People go and look on a search engine or AI looking to confirm shit they think they already know. People don't go on Google hoping to find something real or find something right, because that could contradict what they already believe, and they won't be able to double down on their bad behaviors, their multiple personalities, and their double and triple lives that they're living on the internet. What good is any search engine if you can't search in, ask a question, and it gets it right the first time you ask it? What good is it? What good is any search bar or AI tool if you can't ask it a question looking for the truth and it can't give you the truth the first time you ask it? It's broken. Anyway, France's National Gaming Authority has ordered the country's internet service providers to block access to Polymarket. It's a crypto-based prediction market. Remember, I told you guys that the only toys that they can come with at this time are prediction toys. That's why all of the tech bros, all of their investments has always been being able to predict and tell the future, because they want products that can predict and tell the future about what you're going to buy next or what buttons you're going to push, so they can be the first one to put a product in front of your face. But the issue is, when the tech bros have no new toys to offer, there's no more walls that they can gatekeep this technology behind. We all have the best cameras. We have the best computers. So they can't promise you that they're going to make a new, bigger, badder gadget later on and that you need to buy into it. Are you guys getting this?
This is crazy.
I wanted people being able to follow along. The decision came after determining the platform was illegally promoting gambling and games of chance to French users. They're calling it what it is. Instead of calling it a prediction website, they're calling it what it is. The blocking order issued January 16th. The president applies to all Polymarket sites operated. That's good. Good for them. The regulator says it has tracked Polymarket's activity in France. An earlier formal notice prompted the company's geo-block financial transactions from French users. The ANG said that the restriction was being circumvented. The agency noted that the prediction markets are not authorized under French law. Simply put, they were warned already to get the fuck out. I wish we had spines and backbones like that.
This is a real country protecting its people.
I mean, at least in this
from what
way,
they've
yeah.
saying.
Very cool. Cool stuff. This is from our good friends from Dismakers. How to copyright music. The smartest strategy. What the fuck? Let's try this again. The smartest strategy for singles, albums, and unreleased songs. Lexi, take it away.
Most independent artists don't register copyrights for their music, not because they're careless, but because they simply don't know when or how to do it correctly.
I think they're poor. I don't think it's that. I don't think that people without driver's license want to continue to driving without a license. It's usually a circumstance that are obstacles that present challenges for them to get their license. It's not that people want to drive illegally. When you see homeless people, it's usually not, they don't really want to be living outside. It's because they have circumstances or features in their lives that you're not aware of. They're not, and they don't have licenses and paperwork and fucking badges and IDs to prove themselves to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all musicians that don't have copyrights or trademarks are just dirt balls and living off the land. It's just that a lot of artists can't afford to trademark their name, their likeness, and then keep up with the 3, 5, and 10-year annuals.
Especially in today's world, you can't really go, in my opinion, you can't really go around claiming that people are in la la land all the time
That's foolish.
when people, like you just said, people probably do know. They just don't have the money to fund it.
Yeah. People knew the slavery was bad. They just went along with it anyway.
Right.
People know that their vehicles kill butterflies
But they drive
and
anyway.
kittens and right. They don't give a
Drive
shit. Right.
People know that there's, pedophiles around and people side with them anyway.
They don't give a shit.
They don't really give a fuck. They really don't.
Yeah, how about it?
Anyway.
Yeah.
And that gap can get expensive, not immediately, but over time.
And another thing, like, independent musicians are already too busy trying to gas up and go to the show at $4 a gas. We're too busy. Modern musicians can't pay for trademarks or focus in on copywriting or registering their music a lot of times because they're fucking poor, because they cannot keep up with $4 gas prices. These independent distributors, they cost musicians sometimes upwards to $100 a year. So between annuals, distribution, guitar strings, and gas money, how does the everyday independent musician be able to afford something like trademarking and copywriting?
In today's world, very far and few.
Okay.
You start seeing issues like missed royalties, ownership confusion, or situations where someone else complicates work that should have been clearly documented and protected from the beginning.
Wrong. Look at the system you've given us. There's not a system that is a global music payment system where musicians can be paid fairly, because unfortunately we live in a currency system where, depending on where you live, your money is worth more or less than another country. So how do you develop a way to pay musicians fairly? If you move to another country, people are able to subscribe or buy in or purchase services at a different currency rate.
Can't happen.
For instance, I'm just going to break it down for you. My amplifier costs $110 less in Canada or the UK.
So you can't really give a musician at that rate a global paycheck, because in Canada our dollar's worth either more or less.
Right, and the issue is that music is, the internet is, social media is a global system.
So basically they're creating a global system where there is no global paycheck.
No, there isn't. There's no global
there's
currency.
One without the other.
There's no global language. There isn't. There's not a royalty type that serves all musicians. There's not like a website where this is where we go, where musicians get paid and we all get paid fairly. No, there is none of that.
There's not enough to go around to even accomplish that.
In fact, this is the only industry where services are completed and the person that completed the service gets absolutely nothing. Like, not even a stripper or a prostitute, or who we love, not even prostitutes are expected to get paid less. Musicians in the music industry is the only industry where somebody can get on stage and complete the job and be paid actually nothing.
Yep. It's the only place.
No.
You start seeing... I already read that. On the other hand, some artists go too far the other way by overfiling, overpaying, and burning through a budget that should have gone toward marketing, content, touring, or building momentum.
See, Discmakers already knew it. Like, I'm so glad they confirmed what I was saying earlier. Shout out to Discmakers.
So if you're figuring out how the core idea behind music copyright strategy,
My fault.
At its core, copywriting music isn't only about protection. It's part of the strategic foundation of building your catalog and your music business overall. You want ownership and documentation of your music's sound recording, musical work. That way, ownership and licensing rights are clearly documented from the beginning. When it comes to copyright registration, you're usually balancing two things: cost efficiency or legal clarity and flexibility, which is using individual registration
Jiggle, jiggle.
registrations and maintaining track by track documentation. Sounds like a lot of paperwork.
Wiggle, wiggle, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. It isn't. No, it is a lot of.
It's a lot of paperwork.
It's a lot of
Make
work.
sure you guys have a filing cabinet
No.
as a musician.
Make sure you have a fucking lawyer, because none of this shit matters. Okay,
Right.
you can go and get a copyright, you can go get a trademark, and then somebody can steal it, and then you have to have the money, the time to retain a lawyer and to go litigate and argue about this shit in court. Most people that are going to steal from you in the music industry are stealing from you because they've already determined you're not somebody that's going to make it to the court date.
And you're not going to have a lawyer as well to help you make it to the court date.
Let me put it to you this way. Copyrights never stopped anybody from stealing music. The same way that a deadbolt lock on a door never stopped a burglar.
Exactly.
Copyright it all you want. You're still going to have to argue about it in court. And a lot of people don't have the time to do that shit. And that's why they're doing it to you. A lot of these smaller umbrella or label services, we like to call them Facebook record labels. They're really just, shitty companies, shitty promotion companies with what they call label services. So we see this type of thing all the time. And with them, a lot of those Facebook, social media, independent record labels, they all pretend that they're affiliated with global or national entities. Okay, and when they shortchange and steal from independent artists, even when they're building their rosters, they build their rosters out of artists they believe are going to keep them out of a courtroom. I mean, you know what I mean? If exactly, like if you wanted to be a pimp, okay, you're not going to go and try to build a stable of activist prostitutes. Like, if you know what I mean, if you're looking for people that are just passively willing to go along with your story, you're not going to be recruiting a lot of people that ask questions. So that's why you don't see a lot of these Facebook record labels. That's why you don't see them starting conversations with people like us.
Right.
It would interrupt them manipulating smaller artists. Poppy, no shows Upheaval Fest due to the air quality. The band plays in N95s without her. I can't blame them for the N95 thing.
Wow.
Yeah, that must have been a shitty time up there. That's all I know. Oh, man, I know that was no fun up there. Oh, my goodness. I hope that, I already hope they don't sit there and blame it on Poppy, but, they probably will. The air quality from the Canadian wildfires is no joke. Unfortunately, it caused some problems at the Grand Rapids Upheaval Festivals, which kicked off July 17th. Poppy was a no-show due to the air quality. I really can't say I blame her, man.
Really can't.
Her band played an instrumental set without her. It was a difficult situation for everyone. Online, fans seemed understanding about her health concerns, but some are upset that she didn't post a heads up before the performance. I mean, who could have saw that coming?
No one could predict wildfire smoke.
Right, it's never happened before.
This has never happened before. An entire country basically has not been caught on fire before
like
in our lifetime.
like
I don't know about previous lifetimes.
I'm just
but
telling you, I've lived in New England and on the Northeast most of my life, and I'm in my mid 40s, and I've never woken up to the sky filled with smoke and with the world looking like it was under an orange Instagram filter. No, that's a first.
No, this is.
So if you would have asked me to give you a heads up
It's not going to happen.
prior to that happening, I would have told you I can't.
There's
would have
no way.
I would have never been able to imagine something like that. So
No.
if you'd have told me this shit a month ago, I would have told you maybe you'd exaggerate a little bit, right? That actually improved from moderate by the time of her evening set, but it was hazardous in the morning. There is a statewide alert all weekend, as you guys all know, from NYC to Chicago, and of course we had it here too. She gave a statement. Guys, sometimes there's nothing you can do, you know.
You can't predict everything.
And it's just like, and like, let's say everybody would have gotten sick. Everyone would have blamed Poppy, and they would have blamed upheaval too.
So there's really no win here.
Like, I'm sure there were people that didn't feel good or got sick at upheaval. And probably on Facebook, I could imagine many of them blaming, the state, blaming Canada, it's easy to blame everybody when there's things happening that you can't control.
And have never been through before.
We've never been through it before. Well, we always got to cover the ongoing saga. So, Evan Rachel Wood shares disturbing new theory about Marilyn Manson's cult.
Okay.
It's a theory. I always want to know what she thinks about Marilyn Manson because she claimed that she was abused by him.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to dismiss her claims. So instead, I'm going to just listen without being a judge, without being a jury, or without being anybody. I'm just going to listen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the problem with just listening to people when they've claimed that they've been abused. If anything else, why not just listen to them?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that is going to hurt us learning about her seeming experience. So, Evan Rachel Wood has shared detailed theory about Marilyn Manson's alleged use of cult tactics and manipulation. Wood alleged in 2021 that she was groomed as a teenager by Manson before being horrifically abused and brainwashed. As you guys know here, we are very outspoken advocates and always doing our best to host conversations about child abuse and revealing greater neglect and child abuse in the entertainment industry as well as the judicial system. In the interview, she spoke about her belief that Manson deliberately studied cults and mind control techniques. If you take a wander in his library, he's had a lot of books of cults and a lot of books on mind control. I feel like that's like a big thing guys do now on like YouTube. Everybody wants to control each other. So
it seems like everyone wants to be a control freak.
I guess what I'm saying is I don't think this is outside of the scope for what a lot of young boys and young men fantasize about. Being in power, being able to control people, read people's minds, make predictions, dominate. I get it. I do understand it. Cults have different names and different styles, but ultimately they're the same tactics. Yes, one thing you guys need to know about a cult, and one of the first features about a cult is a cult usually it has to revolve around a single individual. That's what truly makes it a cult. So if you don't have an individual in the center, it's really hard to call it a true traditional cult. When asked her whether she believed Manson was a psychopathic narcissist, she said that she thought so. So, and this will be the last part I show you here, but it says in November of 24, Manson withdrew his defamation lawsuit against her. I think that's important. So originally Manson said that she was lying, and he sued her seemingly because of her lies, but later on dropped that lawsuit saying that she was lying. In the suit, he had accused her of recruiting women to fabricate claims against him, but he had dropped it. He also agreed to pay her, oh my goodness, $327,000. So he did agree to pay for Rachel's lawyer. It's kind of an interesting detail. Usually innocent men don't pay for your lawyer. But,
Especially not, or the.
Let me tell you something.
$250,000.
If somebody accused me of a heinous crime, I'm not giving you no money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just letting you know what it is. Oh, we got one more. I hope. And then you guys are so lucky we are at the moment where we get to hang out. Well, we're nearly there. Where we'll be hanging out with Matt from Needles and Noise. Okay. Lexi, take it away. 19 of the worst ways to waste your money if you live in America.
You're not dumb. You do the normal money-saving things. You're regular at the clearance rack. You don't eat lunch out too much. And you meticulously selected the perfect combo of streaming services to watch your faves for as cheap as possible. But there are some tips you may not know yet. And that's a good thing, because once you see some of the areas where you can cut your costs, you can find some extra cash in your pocket. So number 1 is innocent daily conveniences, simple things that drain your bank account. Number 1, the daily coffee run. It's fair to say it's okay to get a little treat every once in a while, but a $6 latte every morning runs up to $2,000 a year.
Whoa.
You could buy a high-end espresso machine with that cash and still come out ahead. Number 2, which in my opinion should be number 1, the lottery and getting rich quick gimmicks. The lottery isn't a financial plan. I'm going to say this again. The lottery is not a financial plan. And know that $1,500 online course won't make you a millionaire.
Come on, yeah.
Focus on real wealth building strategies.
Right.
I say this with respect. Premium gas for cars that they don't need it. If your car doesn't specifically require, and it says specifically in the manual, require premium gas, don't waste your money on premium gas. Number 2, car insurance. Massachusetts drivers, cancel your car insurance.
Bam.
This person let their car insurance auto-renew for years. Clean record, no claims. Figured the rate was fine and was wrong. When they finally compared the options with a free tool, the quote came back lower than the person expected. They went from $159 a month to $49 a month for 2 cars and couldn't believe they had been missing out on a chance to save this much.
Crazy.
So don't overpay for your car insurance. Number 3, credit card debt. The team is obsessed with this no annual free card that lets you pay with no interest into 2027. If you're struggling to pay down high interest debt or you're planning a major purchase this year, this might be the exact thing that you need. Pause credit card interest into 2027. It's called Discover It Cash Back. It's an extremely powerful card that gives you $0 into APR for an outstanding 15 months on purchases and balance transfers.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that, but y'all, good
Neither
luck with
do
that.
I. Number 4, interest. Stop getting ripped off by high interest debt payments.
That's for all you people lending and loaning.
Skipping this card, number 5 is skipping this card. Earn a $200 bonus for spending $500.
Chase Freedom Unlimited.
Spend $500 first 3 months opening with a Chase Freedom Unlimited card, earning bonuses.
I don't know nothing about this. I'm hoping it's helping y'all.
Number 6, spending $1,000 to repair water damage. How Massachusetts homeowners are preventing roof rot, mold, and foundation damage for good.
Let me get this one. Most homeowners think of gutters as just cleaning chore. The bigger risk is what happens when they clog. Overflowing gutters can lead to water damage, roof rot, mold, even foundational problems. The kind of repairs that run into the thousands. If you own a home in Massachusetts, Home Buddy offers a powerful, one-of-a-kind guard to built to prevent exactly that. The micro mesh filter keeps common debris out of your gutter. So I guess there's products out there that helps you avoid that. Your auto policy, the one monthly bill that many Massachusetts drivers never think to compare. If you're in New Hampshire, that doesn't matter either, too, right, Lex?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe somebody in the comments can help us out with that. Online shopping. Stop overpaying when you shop online. That even means Amazon, y'all. Number 9 is high interest debt. See if your credit card debt is eligible for this program. I guess if you have more than $30,000 in debt from credit cards, I hope you don't. Medical bills, collections, or personal loans, national debt reliefs, certified debt specialists may be able to help you consolidate your debt into one low monthly payment. That's kind of cool. Number 10, waiting to get paid, access to up to $150 a day of your paycheck with no mandatory fees. If you need a few dollars between paychecks, a little daily cushion can go a long way. Try the Earn app, I guess. Mindless reoccurring expenses. Don't pay for what you don't use. I keep saying this to people. Storage units, gym memberships, bottled water. Yeah, believe it or not, bottled water. Expensive home repairs. I mean, I'm not a homeowner, but if you are, I can understand why that could be a scary thing. Paying too much on your mortgage. Again, save $28,000 over the life of your mortgage. You guys can, if you guys want, if you live in Massachusetts and you want to, I know it's different everywhere. If you live in Massachusetts and you want to have this article, just message the page and we'll send it to you. Holy shit, is $1 million portfolio working as hard as it could? I don't know any of you guys that have $1 million portfolio. Do you really all need all these things to be happy? Here's the things I wanted to focus on. Sneaky subscriptions, upgrading to the latest iPhones, designer clothes and sneakers. That's more so why I grabbed this article. Tax debt. Ask this company to help you pay off your tax debt. Alleviate tax. Check them out, y'all. While most tax companies just put you on a payment plan and file your taxes for you, Alleviate tax and talks to the IRS directly. I love that. That's awesome, y'all. Check that out. And I just want to say this. Imagine doing your roof this year. Look at this, overpaying $1,000 on a new shower. I'm not now. Look, I'm not going to judge anybody, but I feel like this article is for people that have a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong for you people out there
And
being
people that
successful.
want to renovate their homes.
Yes, Guys, welcome. It is that time. It is that special time when we will turn it over and now head to our interview with Maddie from Needles and Noise. Everybody buckle up. Needles and Noise will be in Connecticut this week. It will be at the Webster Underground in Hartford, Connecticut. Without further ado, let's check in with Maddie from Needles and Noise. Everybody, please welcome Maddie from Needles and Noise. Yay!
Hey, thanks everyone for having me here today.
Hey, so I know this is short notice. I just wanted to get the opportunity to first meet you. And I wanted to bring you on the Sepsiss show because I think that people really need to hear about you guys' cause. This is not your traditional rock and roll or heavy metal show. There's so many layers and features baked into it. I had to get you on and learn about it. Is this you guys' first event? Tell us what it's all about. Needles and Noise happening this Saturday at the Webster Underground.
Yeah, so this is Needles and Noise first ever event. Me and one of the other founders of Needles and Noise, Kevin, both work at the same tattoo shop, a tattoo shop that he owns, Barnett Body Art in Vernon, Connecticut. We both, prior to being tattoo artists, used to work on music festivals. I worked for a nonprofit called Heart Support, started by Jake Lurs of August Burns Red. That's actually the nonprofit that we are sponsoring this year at Needles and Noise. And Kevin used to be the owner of a nonprofit called If I Die Young. Both of our nonprofits were based around mental health. Ours, Heart Support, is a more overarching all stems of mental health, whereas If I Die Young was focused on the recovery aspect from drug addiction and how that relates to mental health. So once we started working at the tattoo shop together, there was that little birdie in the back of our head that kept tweeting, hey, when are you guys going to get back out there on the streets and use the things that you believe in and help people to actually change the scene again? And then that's kind of where the Needles and Noise festival idea started from.
I mean, I don't know how other bands or people feel about that, but matching up with what we talk about in our lyrics, matching up with the content that we do here on the podcast, charities, humanitarianism, recovery, second chances, all of those things are huge motivating features and huge motivating factors for the reasons of doing what we do.
That's awesome.
So that really fits really well into our wheelhouse and the things that we love and believe in too. How did you guys all meet? Are you guys friends from school, from childhood, or school, or
no?
bands?
So we Kevin and I were both working a tattoo convention up in Mass, and we just happened to run into each other. He was doing a gumball style tattoo flash event, so that's where you get what you get style tattoos, and he had some free time, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna go get a new tattoo. We started talking and realizing that we had all this overlap of people that we worked with in the past, mainly Benjamin Sledge, who was at one point the director of Heart Support, took his nonprofit under their wing when If I Die Young was just starting. And it was just through that connection that we started talking more and hanging out. And then when they opened their own shop, I offered to come help them paint their walls and do the trim, and just said, hey, are you guys looking for another tattoo artist? And next thing you know, we're one big happy family over here, and we're just tattooing all the time. And then when we're not tattooing, we're coming up with community outreach ideas like doing back to school drives and this mental health suicide prevention music festival. So we just kind of, it's like one happy family here now.
That is incredible to get in the room with that many human beings and be able to put that much love and work and energy into the same things. I don't know if people know how rewarding that can be, because that's a lot. Again, that really reminds me of what we do a lot here, and how challenging it can be. You could go your whole life looking for people that think and feel passionately about the things, about similar things as you do, and it's amazing that you guys were able to find each other in the world. Because
Yeah.
something of this scope is rather, even for a first time, this event is pretty large. It takes more than one person. It really takes a village to get the things that the size and scope of some of the goals that you guys have and the things that you're involved in really do take a little neighborhood and
They
a
really
team
do.
to accomplish. So you really have to find people that you love and trust and feel the same way about things. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
you know, one of the artists at our shop, I was working a tattoo convention that y'all were playing at. I think maybe it was the Boston Tattoo Convention.
Yes, that was so much fun.
And he said, "Hey, you guys are putting on this mental health music festival. There's this band I want you to check out and reach out to see if they're available to play." And when you guys said that you would be available to be at our show, you should have saw his face. He was so excited to have you guys
Really?
there.
Oh
Yeah, he
man.
was
Well, that
very
melts my
excited.
heart, man. That's exciting.
Yeah,
Good, we have a friend.
we do.
Yay. How do you guys go about choosing bands for the Needles and Noise event?
So the most important part of Needles and Noise is the community coming together to heal itself, right? So that's kind of the model that we're basing this whole festival over. So once we started reaching out to bands, we did things like look into bands' messaging. Are they aligned with this? What type of things do they encourage and support? And the biggest part was when we put the call out to different bands to play this festival, we just laid it all on the table. Hey, this is our first music festival. Like, we're going to give our 110%. Like, some of this might be rocky, so we might not be able to offer the same level of guarantees that the big music festivals do yet. But I promise you that the impact that this festival will make is going to be a million times bigger to your fans than one of these other big corporate music festivals would be. And we really want you to be a part of this. And some bands said, "Hey, we really appreciate what you're doing, but that's not what we're about or what we can really afford to do right now." And then some bands, such as y'all, um, just said, "Yeah, this is kind of a call to action. We
Yeah.
we kind of we believe in this change in the community, so like let's be a part of it." And that, and like you were saying about that whole community coming together and like the village coming together, it like we rely on the bands to push this forward because those are the things that fans at the show are going to see and be empowered by and be able to make that change on their local level.
But you've done other events before, right?
Yeah, so believe it or not, this is our first fully facilitated event, right? So my experience within the mental health outreach at music festivals has always been boots on the ground for those festivals,
Are,
right?
are there
So
are there like mental health awareness people there, or are there
yeah.
any?
So Dr. Michelle Sari, she's on the board of directors for Heart Support, and she's also the um, director of mental health for the state of corrections for Minnesota. She will be the MC of the event. Um,
Whoa!
yeah,
Wow.
Wow!
That's incredible.
I no, so I was
That's
trying.
incredible.
Yeah, I was trying not to be generic, but
That's
some people will
incredible.
have events and they'll say horror, lap dances, and water balloon fight, and then you'll get there and there's no water balloons and carnivals and stuff.
no, right, right.
And they're it might be horror themed, or or you see a pretty girl on the cover and you go there and it's nothing but guys, and I have no problem with that. But the advertisement sometimes can be mm, motivating. That's polite,
Right.
isn't it? So I guess a lot of folks will pack into a bunch of seemingly what seems like features into events, and then you'll go, okay, well, what sort of people that are there to represent mental health? And you really had somebody. That was great that you had that prepared. And of course, there's people there that somebody must be tattooing somebody, right?
Right. So we have 3 tattoo artists that will be tattooing full time at the tattoo convention. So there will be a tattoo similar to a tattoo flash event. If anyone's ever been to a holiday themed or Friday the 13th themed tattoo flash event, the tattoos will be in that type of style. So you could go in, pick out from 6 different sheets of different flash, and
Okay.
at any point during the music festival, you could get one of these tattoos done.
Ooh, that's
And
so cool.
I'll let you guys be the first to hear this. So we haven't fully released this yet, but one of the special tattoos that we will have as a flash option is we will be doing a suicide prevention and mental health awareness ribbon tattooed. So those will be at a special rate. But we haven't announced that tattoo yet. But that will be one of the options that people will see as they walk in the door.
Wow.
That everyone could get that tattoo.
Wow.
Special.
So this isn't right. Your show isn't flash. It's the real deal. You really have people there representing mental health. You really have bands there. You really have the tattooists there. And you have some pretty good deals on tattoos. Every time we do something affiliated with tattoos, I start feeling like a teenager. You know, I wanted
you want to get a tattoo.
Yes, yeah. Poke a hole and no.
Right.
But no,
right
that's
before the set.
when we played the Boston tattoo festival. We were
Yeah.
blown away. I wasn't prepared for the amount of talent and the size. I didn't know so many people. The tattoo culture is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool. We're one of those bands that we are lucky enough to have the craziest fans in the world that actually are crazy enough to get our logo tattooed on them.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, and we have a page on our website. It's called the Star Club. And it's a page dedicated to all of our fans that got our tattoo, our logo, our star logo. The only way you can get in the Star Club is if you tattoo the Sepsiss Star logo on you. But we have a dedicated tab on our official webpage just for them.
That's amazing.
Tattoo.
Maybe that will be taking a surprise guest appearance at the tattoo festival then.
Yo, that's crazy. I'm already excited now. I could barely contain myself.
Right.
You have a lot of bands there too. I know one of our favorite bands is headlining Saving Vice. They're really good. I don't know if you've ever seen them live.
Yes. Yeah. So when we were looking for a headliner, and I always try to take I think it's called a steel man. It's where you try to give someone the benefit of the doubt, right? So we reached out to a lot of bands, and a lot of bands said, "Hey, we can't do it," or they would give us a really ridiculous guarantee to play this festival. And some of that comes with us being a new entity, right? Like, are we going to spend all this time and money coming to this festival and it's a flop, or are you going to scam us somehow? Like, there's there's every scam that exists.
Yep.
And when we reached out to Saving Vice, and they, heard what the message of the festival was, and they jumped right on. Yes, of course, we want to be there. And by the way, we want to make this affordable so that the money could go towards the mental health resources that you guys are fundraising for.
Wow.
And just after all the no's that we got for headliners, to get that yes was so amazing.
What would make this year be a success for you?
That's a great question.
So, this is one of those untangibles, right? I would love to say,
if 20
we'll sell.
Showed up, I'd be
right.
happy.
It's
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But I really, as a suicide survivor myself, I really believe in the cause that we are pushing here. And when we look out at the crowd during the songs and you see people seeing that change on their face, right? That's like, hey, I actually have a place where I belong. I know that I'm going through this thing at home and I feel like no one else understands what I'm going through. But when I look around, I also like all these people are here and they're supporting me, and maybe I do actually belong somewhere. That
Man.
that's the reason why we're doing this. And as long as that happens, then I consider this show the biggest success possible because that's a life saved.
Bro, man, you've made a friend out of me, man.
Thank you.
I personally love what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
The way you've come on here, eloquently, clearly. You've got a great cause. I love the way that you presented yourself, the things that you had to say, your choices in English. There was no performances here today. This is a real thing for you.
It really is.
Thank you so much, man, for being on our show today.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Somebody to come on a show like this. We have 40,000 people on the page, and to come on as a guest and be vulnerable and honest and as revealing as you have about your own life. I wasn't prepared for you to do that, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
On behalf of me and all of our fans, because that's something we do here, and now we share that together, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I look forward, everybody, unless if you didn't know, now you know. This Saturday, the Webster Underground in Hartford, Connecticut. It's Needles and Noise. We want to thank Maddie for coming on and talking about Needles and Noise, their cause, their mission, the manifesto. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for having me here, guys.
And if you could send our regards to all the other fest and organizers. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.